Would you're meeting in a studying group, studying leadership according to the changes and all the events that are happening in the world these days. And you meet every Sunday and you observe and you study and you dive in and you get confused about what does it mean leadership nowadays. So I wasn't in the meeting last Sunday. I know you were talking about protest. So can you give me and us a little update on your insights and what you got confused about, and also what what have you seen after you got confused?
Yeah. I think that one of the major things that we've been inquiring is what is the real meaning of protest and why so many times there are protests, even widespread ones, that don't really make a difference, and also deepen the gaps between people and leave them more angry and more frustrated and with less belief in human beings and their beauty and wisdom. So we've been inquiring into protest for quite a while. But since now all over the world things are happening, we've really dived into the question of how can you protest coming out of love? And it sounds crazy because usually you come out of frustration or out of this need to make a point and to change. And that is not utterly untrue. But if we come out of love, how will a protest look? How are the people we're protesting not against but towards will look like? If we're deepening the partnership, and it's not even a partnership, it's the basic oneness that we are, being human beings, engaged in questions that human beings are engaged with today, then how will it be to protest coming out of that deep oneness? And
But when people go to protest, from my experience, you go to protest always coming out of love, because you have a feeling that something is wrong and you want to change it towards love.
yeah,
Like, if I
that's
protest, when I protest about being for animal rights, it because I love the animals.
yeah, but you hate the people who eat them, or you hate the people who kill them to wear furs or fur coats. So we're not coming out of love. You are in the name of love hating. You are in the name of love wanting to dissolve people or concepts or ideas. But if, on the contrary, we come out of love, then we know that the person who is eating an animal is also loving this animal and also sad. Okay, even if he or she do not know this, because you cannot eat an animal. You cannot eat an animal or hurt a human being without knowing that you did that and without feeling sorry in your heart, in your true self. Now, when that happens and animals are eaten or suffer cruelty from human beings, or people suffer sufferings and hurt and fear and abuse from other human beings, we are very used to look at what our eyes show us. And then we can see it, that this person came and he did that, and that was terrible. And because of that, this human being is suffering, this human being is traumatized sometimes, this human being is unable to express him or herself, and so on. But if I look better, if I look deeper, then I know that in his heart and in his inner self, he knows that that is not who he or she really is, and that there is another them, which is the true them inside. So if I look at them, condemning them in the sense of thinking they are like monsters or distorted human beings, then we find ourselves more and more in conflict, and more they will act as monsters. They will attack. They will not feel. They will be afraid to feel. They will want to make me go away. But if I look at them and see them as they are, as they really are inside, and I will stop them from doing what they are doing, but because I believe in them, and I will call them to be who I know that they are, then that will be what most probably will be at least part of our reality. And that's the protest that we're. It's like a protest will become like a calling for people or a reminder of people, and it's not because we are, better or we know better than them. It's because we know that they know this as well as we do. They may be forgotten, they may not see a possibility to act upon it, but we are the same, we are one.
So you are actually asking, what will it look like if, when I protest against Trump, for example, and his supporters, I will
Yeah,
love them as much as I love myself or my family or the people who think like me?
yeah,
What would it look
I-
like from there?
exactly. I will love them not for the things that they are doing, but for the things that they are, for the things that I know that they wish to be.
For just for that they exist.
No, but there's a difference because I do want to protest against what they're doing. When a president abuses his presidency, then this should be condemned. Okay, it should be condemned. But the person who's doing that, I wish to love, or I do love. And that's why it becomes a calling and not a condemnation, because I'm not trying to make him think that he is distorted. I'm trying to, what I'm doing by not forgetting or by not getting mixed up is I know that he knows how to love, and I know that he cares, and I know that when he does what he does, it is something that's not, it doesn't go right with his true nature, and that is always, this is, it's suffering. So when I call him, I'm for him. I'm for who he really is. And that's why the protest becomes a calling. That's why, for example, our homework to, towards the next meeting is to create 5 signs, yeah, like that you
Like
carry in the
protesting
protest,
sign.
yeah, that would would convey, would present this kind of thinking, which is not, it's not spiritual in the bad sense of it. It's not like being pink and la la land, being in la la land, but actually being very sharp but loving, being very accurate but seeing the true nature of people and calling them to be that.
Have you
That's
done your homework? Do you have an example?
and I'm in the midst of it, but one of them is that there is now a sign that I see in protest saying, "We are the hope." But the person who carries it is identified with a side, with, you know, a certain group of people who
Yeah,
thinks a certain
like
way.
we are.
Yeah, that
You are
you
the
are
no
not.
hope.
Exactly.
We are the hope.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So, one of the signs I wish to be, we are all our hope, and it never is different than that. Okay, and that it's actually also energy-wise, it closes other possibilities. It makes you stand on the field ready to play, and that's the only game there is.
Yeah, and there are no sides.
Yeah,
There's a game, but there are no sides.
right. There's no side. We're creating a creation, a masterpiece that's becoming evident to us as we play, as we go along, as we encounter each other.
We're
That's
not used to playing a game when there are no sides. There are always, almost always, we're playing against each other as a team or individuals.
right.
What will it look like if we play a game and we'll know that there are no sides? It's just a game, one game for all.
Right.
And if someone wins, everybody wins. If somebody loses, everybody loses.
Yeah. And it's also, then who wins doesn't become the main thing. Okay. It's the action that we go through, it's the being with it, it's the encounter that makes the difference. That's what happens there.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you for the update.
Thank you.